Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Mujeeb. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Mujeeb. In today's dars, Imam Sahib is saying that by the grace and mercy of Allah, we continue with the series of Hadith, the dars of the Hadith in this blessed month of Ramadan. It's an ocean of knowledge and very precious pieces of advice which the Holy Prophet ﷺ's words contain, which are a means of guidance for mankind till the day of judgment. In the first tradition today, Imam Sahib is saying that he wants to read the Arabic first. Ma yusibul muslima min nasabin wala wasabin wala hammin wala huznin wala azam wala ghammin hatta ashokate yushaquha illa kafar Allahu biha min khataya. This is a long tradition, a somewhat long tradition, and it gathers many different diverse pieces of advice, pieces of subjects, diverse subjects within it. Imam says, let's look at the translation of this. The Holy Prophet ﷺ has given pieces of advice, some of which are mentioned here, and he says that a Muslim does not suffer any pain or any illness or any grief or any pain, any hurt, so much so that even if a thorn hurts him, even if this happens, if any of these things happen, then Allah removes some of his sins, or Allah forgives him. So a believer who sacrifices or devotes his life to Allah, and in this path, if he comes across any difficulties, then Allah forgives his transgressions and his mistakes, because he is a believer and he, with a good intention, he tries to acquire the nearness and the love of Allah, but on the way he comes across some difficulty and he is hurt in some way. Imam Sahib says that if a believer is hurt in any way whatsoever, then whether it's an illness or some worry or some grief or something hurts him, because these are all matters that are associated with the life in this world, and one goes through them often in one's lives. And it's so much so, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that even if a thorn hurts him, if he's going somewhere, he's walking to perform a good deed, and on the way he is hurt with a thorn, then because of this Allah forgives his sins. So this is a demonstration of Allah's incredible compassion and kindness, and this brings a beautiful scenario in front of our eyes, that how Allah forgives the sins of his servants. And it seems as if Allah is looking for an excuse to forgive a believer. So Allah is looking for a reason to forgive a believer who is actually a true believer in the eyes of Allah, and he's doing some work for the sake of Islam, for the promotion of Islam. Then if he goes through any pain or any illness, or he gets into any trouble, and even if he is hurt with a thorn, so this is a very vast subject, no matter what kind of pain a person goes through, but if he is a true believer, and that's the condition, and the pain he undergoes it in the path of Allah, then in such a case, even if it's just a thorn that hurts him, then in recompense for that believers sins are forgiven according to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So this is Allah's compassion and Allah's blessing that and which displays Allah's kindness on us, on those people who are truly a Muslim, is those people who doesn't just proclaim his faith just with his tongue. In fact, with his actions, he proves that he is a true believer. Then whatever pain he goes through, Imam Sahib says sometimes it's a very small worry or something, or the work he's doing becomes upside down, and these are the kind of things that occur in the world, and it is faced by people who live in this world in general. But the greatness of a believer, according to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, that Allah has taught us through the Holy Prophet ﷺ, that if a believer is hurt in any way, then Allah forgives his sins because of that. So this is Allah's mercy, which we should all try to yearn for and try to gain. In another tradition, the Holy Prophet ﷺ says, "Man aada marizan, nada munadin minas samai, tipta wataba mamshaka watabawata min al jannati manzilan." This tradition is taken from the book of traditions called Ibn Majah, and the translation of these words are, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that when someone goes to ask after somebody's health, somebody who is ill, then an angel calls from the heavens and said, "You have done a very good deed. May your walking in this path be blessed, and through this action you have gained yourself a dwelling in paradise." So because of one good deed, Allah gives a person, a believer, more and more blessings, more and more goodness, more and more benefits. Imam Sahib says that people become ill, and sometimes people's relatives become ill, or even their neighbor or someone gets ill. So if somebody goes to ask after their health, and it is a very good thing, it is something which is combined with a great reward. So this should not be regarded as a small matter. This is, Imam Sahib says that the minimum a form of asking after somebody's health who is ill is that we should telephone them, or we should telephone their relatives, and you should give them some good, convey some good feelings towards them, and express sympathy towards them. And this is also a form of worship. But if a person walks to ask after somebody's health, then the person who walks there, then while he's doing that, an angel calls from heaven and says that tipta wataba, that you have done very, very well, and your walk in this direction is extremely blessed for you. So the angels say tipta wataba, that you have done something very good, and your walking in this direction became blessed. So at every single step, that person is given the reward for this. So for the action of going to inquire after somebody's health. And here it is not mentioned that the patient or the person who is ill is one of your relatives, because even non-believers go to ask after the relative's health. But for a believer, whenever he finds out that a Muslim has become ill, and he goes to ask after their health, then he walks towards him, then Allah's angels call out and say that this is a very good thing that you have done, and at every step Allah gives him a reward. And here it should be remembered, and Imam Sahib said this is very important, that when you go to ask after somebody's health, then you should think of the comfort of the a person who is ill, sometimes it becomes a burden when somebody comes to visit them and they start long conversations and don't say that and take too long to get up and leave. This should not be done. You should visit people, but go there briefly and give them good counsel and good advice, but you should not prolong it, which can prevent them from resting, etc. You should just give them a message of love, and you should say something for their comfort. And whenever you get a chance, you must go and inquire after somebody's health. So this subject of inquiring after somebody's health, which we see in this world, that when somebody becomes ill, they go to his home to ask after their health, and at that occasion, if a small gift is taken, then this is also something very blessed. And the most important thing is that you should say something to that patient who makes them feel happy. Imam Sahib said that sometimes it happens that a person becomes extremely despondent when they are ill, and sometimes some diseases can become chronic, and the person feels like they feel worried and they feel despondent, and sometimes they are completely helpless. And at that time, to speak words of love to them and to encourage them and to pray for them, and to actually pray to Allah to make them better, and to show sympathy to them, and to assure them that they can become better. So this is also a very good pious deed. It's an excellent pious deed. Imam Sahib says that these are small matters, but this has a huge reward, and this field is open for all of us, that when we hear about somebody being ill, we should try to go and inquire after their health. May Allah enable us all to act in accordance with this tradition. Ameen summa ameen.